The guests and discussions on this show are not endorsed by the show or show host. The content is provided for informational and educational purposes only. Nothing you hear is intended to substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, and/or treatment by a qualified health professional.
Welcome to Health Revolution with V, your integrative health adventure. Welcome to the Health Revolution with V show. I am so excited. Today I have someone on the show special for you that I have been trying to get on here for a while, but timing is everything. She is a dynamo. She's amazing, and I'm excited for you all to meet her. Her name is Eden Wood. She is a metabolic balance nutrition coach and an NASM personal trainer, which we are going to find out what that means. Having found metabolic balance for herself and losing almost 40 pounds, she was inspired to help others and show them how great metabolic balance really is. So without further ado, we would like to bring on Eden Wood. Welcome.
Thanks, Veronica. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, it's such a pleasure to have you here. I'm so excited. So let's start off. Just tell us about you. Tell us about Eden Wood.
Well, I just moved to Florida about almost 2 years, about a year and a half from Canada. We've been living in Canada for the last 10 years. My husband is Canadian, and our daughter and myself are now Canadian and American. And my parents have been here for almost 9 years, so we came to be close to them and have the family all together. So we've been doing that. I started with Metabolic Balance a few years ago and became a coach recently and started Beach Fit Treasure Coast just because this is where we live. And I've been also starting with the personal training as well.
I love it. I love it. So tell us more about that. Tell us about that NASM. What is it?
NASM. It's the National Academy of Sports Medicine. They've been around for about 35 years. They've become the gold standard in education for personal training, nutrition, wellness, group fit classes. So I chose them just so it would be a good accreditation.
Yeah. So it's a more well-known
it really is.
Gotcha.
Yes, it's great. I was certified with CanFit Pro, which was a Canadian organization to teach group fit years ago. And when I got here, I thought, okay, I want to get certified for the US. And I just went from group fit to personal training so I could do it all.
Nice. Yeah. So you have all of these certifications. She obviously knows what she's doing in the personal training arena. So you have a very fascinating story. I mean, looking at you, there's no way that you all would ever believe that she had an extra 40 pounds on her because she's spectacular. So tell us your story.
You. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe when you put the weight on, you sort of don't realize it, but you sort of get to a point where you're not feeling comfortable or my stomach was hurting, my clothes weren't fitting. I'd gone from a 2.4 slowly creeping up after I had the baby and I was working full time to pushing a size 10. And I it goes so slowly, you just sort of forget that you've put on all this weight, and then you turn around and you wonder, how did I get here? How do I go back to where I was? And I was in my 40s, and I kind of I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to lose the weight. I've always worked out. I've always done group fit. I've always lifted weights, but the weight kept coming on, and I was experiencing stomach pain and joint issues, and I just felt really crappy. And I met a girl who had done Metabolic Balance, which with a coach that I went to in Toronto. And I said to my husband, I've got to look into this. I have to try this. And I was just so sold by the program. And when I went to see that coach, and she took my measurements, and she said, you're pushing pre-obese. And I felt like shame. How did I get here? But ultimately, I think this happens to a lot of us. It's so easy to put the weight on. It's so easy with the way food is presented to us all around us. And then it's really hard to find that balance. And that's what Metabolic Balance did for me. It gave me not only the balance in my food, but in my life.
I love that. I mean, and I know so many people, and they say that very same thing. They're just like, I don't even know how I got here. I used to be a size 2. I used to be a size 3 or 5. And the next thing you know, they're up there. And it's not anything to be ashamed of, right? There's so much going on with our food. We talk about that often. between the sugars and everything and, the way they've coated everything. And, like food's not even really food anymore.
It's true. And eating this way for me, following this metabolic balance plan was very new. But, a lot of people say I didn't start as a 2. I've always been heavy, and this plan works for them as well because it's a new plan for everybody. But I was just reading an article with childhood obesity on the rise. It's just because fast food is so easy. And then, our children learn that these fast food techniques, and it's really hard to get out of it and into a more healthful environment, especially as we get older.
Well, that and the sugar, too. I mean, they market sugar to kids like there's no tomorrow. Sugary cereals, cookies and treats, everything that your rewards are all sugar.
Yeah.
So, then what do these kids know? Anytime they have an emotional response, boom, they're eating sugar.
Yeah. And you look at the labels. I have my daughter reading the labels in the supermarket.
Yes.
Because there's so much hidden in there. She's like, oh no, Mom, this one has palm oil. Like, yep, don't do it. But, she'll pick up a bag of chips and say, oh, Mom, this one doesn't have palm oil. And I still have to explain what's in the chips because there's just so many ingredients. We don't even know what we're eating anymore.
Yeah. And it's true. And in other countries, they have banned a lot of the ingredients that are allowed in our food, which is so infuriating.
It's very interesting. Even in Canada, the bread that you can get there is different from the bread here in the U.S. There's more regulations. But
that's a whole nother conversation.
A whole nother story, isn't it?
Oh my! So, but part of your program, right, is teaching people how to eat. Can you talk about what that looks like?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Let's say that I was coming to you, and let's take it from the beginning.
Okay, so the physician that started this program, Dr. Wolf, fun fact, he believed, just like Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, believed that food could be medicine. He had patients coming to him with, diabetes, high blood pressure, blood lipid disorders, and he believed that food could heal the body. And so he developed metabolic balance. Metabolic balance was generally developed to balance your metabolism by balancing your insulin, which is your fat storage hormone. So if you can balance your insulin along with your other hormones, then you balance your metabolism and the weight just comes off. So there's a whole program around balancing your insulin.
Wow.
And because it's tailored to each individual, we take over 36 blood values and we can see what's going on with your blood work, whether it's your iron or your protein or your cholesterol, and put a whole picture together of what whole foods will match for your body and what your body is lacking or needs right now.
So the whole plan is customized to the individual person.
That's right.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So that's really the reality of what plan is going to work. What plans work are the ones that are tailored to the individual.
Because there's no one size fits all when
Right.
it comes to eating. And, if you've got high inflammation and the next person doesn't, you're going to need 2 different kinds of food programs to fix that. So it's about the right portion and the right food mix for that individual to be successful.
Wow. Well, you all know she is speaking my language. Don't go away. We have to take a quick commercial break to thank our commercial sponsors who make this show possible for us all. And we'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away.
At Your Body Bliss, our passion is creating handcrafted bath and body products for your entire family. From our hand-poured soaps and authentic Castile soap to incredible lotions and more, all made with ethically sourced quality ingredients. With love from our family to yours, yourbodybliss.com.
Have you been told that you need to cut way back on sugars due to a health condition? Do you find yourself struggling to give up the sugars even though you know your health depends upon it? If you answered yes, my online Hidden Sugars class is for you. Take charge of your health and visit eatingwithv.com and take the class.
Apex Electric is a family-owned and operated, licensed and insured electrical contractor with over 30 years of experience. No job is too big or too small. With free estimates and a 1-year warranty, Apex Electric is your premier contractor on the Treasure Coast. AAPEXElectricinc.com.
Dr. Shelley Anderson, with Terrapin Chiropractic, proudly serves the Treasure Coast of Florida with high-quality chiropractic care for all ages utilizing the Gonstead chiropractic technique. You can connect with Dr. Shelley at terrapinchiro.com. That's TERRAPIN Chiro.com.
Welcome back to the Health Revolution with V show. We are here with Eden Wood, metabolic balance nutrition coach and personal trainer. We were talking about her program, Metabolic Balance, and we do have so much more to talk about. But if you want to find out more about Eden, you can go to beachfittc.com. That's beachfittc.com. And you can also find other versions of the Health Revolution with V show at eatingwithv.com, along with some information about foods and label reading and some amazing information there as well. So welcome back, Eden. Let's dive right back in because we have so much to talk about. So how about we jump into, we were talking a little bit about the 8 rules of metabolic balance. Can we talk about that more?
Sure. So as we spoke, everybody gets an individualized food plan. It's just food you buy in the supermarket. There's no shakes, there's no pills, there's no bars.
Nice.
And most metabolic balancers will follow the 8 rules. So with metabolic balance, it's a 4-phased approach. So you start in phase 1, and by the time you hit phase 4, that's kind of your maintenance phase where you're living your life and you've incorporated the rules of metabolic balance into your life. So even for myself, who's been doing metabolic balance for years now, I still follow the 8 rules whenever I can. The interesting thing about metabolic balance is that we all have our lives to live, and you can't be strict with your eating all the time. And that's understood by this company. You need to find a balance in your life. So with the 8 rules, it's very much common sense, but it's not always something we can follow, but we can try. So one of the rules is drinking enough water for your body weight. So enough water every day. That water is going to flush the toxins and fuel your body. Number 2 would be we follow 3 meals a day. So 3 square meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner with no snacks. Also, when we have a meal, the goal is to have 1 protein per meal. So whether it's your chicken or your steak or your eggs, it's not going to be like bacon and eggs or cheese and eggs. It'll just be the eggs. And this way you get that lean protein and you get all of the biological value of that 1 protein to fuel your body with all of its nutrients and vitamins.
So just 1 kind of protein at the meal. That's it.
Meal. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. And now they're eating just real food too.
Yes. And the idea behind that is if you think of the egg has almost 100% biological value. So when you're eating the egg, you're getting the closest protein type to a human protein type. And it's going to break down in your body into amino acids. And your body is going to take those amino acids and you're going to have the right kind of fuel. If you start to combine your proteins, what happens is your body's going to grab onto the easiest protein it can digest. And it may not be the highest biological value. So what happens is it takes what it can at that meal, and then the rest of the proteins become waste in your body. And it can just raise your acidic levels, and things like that can cause bloating. So the idea is 1 protein and the amount you need. I know certainly personal trainers and fitness professionals and even nutritionists are always saying, oh, make sure you get enough protein. But the idea is, yes, you need enough protein for your body, but you also don't want to overdo it and have too much protein.
Because then they start taxing the kidneys and everything else. If you're getting too much protein, your body can't use all of that.
Exactly.
So I'd never heard that before. That's very interesting. So slathering the cheese and everything, which I don't eat cheese anyways, but I know people put cheese on everything. They're putting cheese on their steak. They're putting, like gorgonzola cheese on the steak.
And cheese is delicious. I love cheese.
Yeah. But they generally have to eat it separately then.
That's right. I would normally, if I have cheese, I have it as a meal, as the protein in my meal. Yeah.
Interesting. So if you did a salad, you would either put chicken on the salad or you would put a cheese on the salad. Right. You wouldn't put both on the salad.
Right. Like very often for me, I have ricotta cheese on my plan. So I'll make a piece of toast, put the amount of cheese I want on my toast, and then have it with a nice big salad. and an apple. So an apple a day is part of metabolic balance. With one of your meals, you should have an apple every day. It's full of vitamins. It's a powerhouse as far as foods go, and lowers uric acid. It has, pectin in the skin and
Fiber.
It's full of
Not apple juice, folks. That's where they suck all of the good fiber out of it and you're drinking apple sugar. We're talking about eating an actual apple.
Yeah. I guess you could take that apple and turn it into juice on your own rather than buying it, but it's easier to just eat it for sure.
Just eat it. Puree it if you're going to do anything. Keep that pulp in there because you want that fiber.
That's true.
That's the good stuff. Right
it's
there.
also known to prevent digestive cancers.
Wow.
I mean, it's an incredible fruit, and it's one of the only fruits you can find across the universe. Like, it's just in the world, but it's just in every country you can find it.
Well, there's so many variations of apples. I think I looked it up one time. It was like a couple hundred different variations of apples, unless I'm losing my mind. But
no, I think you're right. The unfortunate thing is, though, because our palates have changed over the years, they've been developing apples to be sweeter, and they're losing what is the great thing about the apple. So it is recommended that you look for organic and also the older varieties, which are getting harder to find in the supermarket. Older varieties like Macintosh and Granny Smith are still around.
Yeah, the Granny Smiths, the green ones, those are low glycemic too. So, wow, all of this great information. Don't go away. We have to take our quick commercial break to honor our commercial sponsors, but we'll be back with Eden in just a moment. We have lots more to talk about. Don't go away.
Interstate Express Incorporated is your local and statewide 24/7 courier service. Woman-owned and veteran-friendly, serving the entire state of Florida since 1990. We pick up and deliver anything from an envelope to a 5,000-pound load. Give us a call, 772-287-2137. Interstate Express.
Is your insurance company telling you that you have to replace your roof? Nice Roofing is a family and veteran-owned and operated local business. Choose peace of mind and quality work with this Owens Corning Platinum Certified contractor. Join thousands of satisfied customers. Visit niceroofing.com.
Awakened Mind, powered by BrainTap, is the ultimate relaxation and focus solution. BrainTap helps reduce stress, improve focus, and enhance relaxation effortlessly. Enjoy better sleep and overall well-being. Try BrainTap today at tribelifecoach.com.
Are you looking for an action-packed adventure? We have unforgettable birthday parties, events, and more. Bring your family, bring your friends, and join us at Port St. Lucie's only paintball park. Call 772-812-0000 or visit invinciblespaintball.com.
Welcome back to the Health Revolution with V show. We are here with Eden Wood, metabolic balance nutrition coach and personal trainer. You can find her at beachfittc.com. That's beachfittc.com. So now we get to talk about the really awesome stuff, which is results. And that's what we all want to hear about, right? So Eden, tell us about some of your success stories. What has been going on with your clients?
Well, I started last year. I was able to get one free plan when I was certified with Metabolic Balance, and I gave that plan to my mother. And everybody said, don't do that. She won't have the discipline to follow this plan. She likes her fried shrimp. And I said, Mom, are you going to do this? She said, I don't know. I think I'm going to do it. I said, listen, give it 3 weeks because it takes 21 days to really solidify a habit. She said 3 weeks. Okay, yeah, I can do 3 weeks. A year and a half in, I think she's around 35 pounds down now, and she's loving it. She can't think of eating any other way. This is the way for her. This is her new way of life, and she's so happy. She called me up on the phone months ago, and she said, I woke up and said to your father, I don't feel like a bag of bones anymore. I'm getting up. I feel energized. She looks forward to her meals like the rest of us. So it's really exciting. I have a client, one of my most successful clients is down 44 pounds. She started in July and now it's January. So
I've seen this client, folks. Let me tell you something. amazing.
Amazing.
That
It really-
transformation
and
has
she
been
loves
amazing.
it. She loves
Yeah.
the food she's eating. I think it's really important to have this plan in place for you, because when you go out and you have a drink and you have a meal, and you don't have to beat yourself up. You just wake up the next day and you have your plan and you just follow it. It's very easy to do. So I have clients that travel the world. I have one client, she's always traveling and she's loving it. She knows what she's got to do when she's on the road. She knows if she can't follow her plan when she's on the road, it's okay. She's still losing the weight and she's still in so much better health than she was. And she comes home and she and her boyfriend cook their meals together and do it together. And it's really nice.
I think that's an essential too, is home cooking. Like when you look at the whole integrative nutrition package, because I'm certified integrative nutrition health coach, and that home cooking piece is so important.
I think a lot of people think it's easier and faster to just order out. But if you think about it, selecting all the food, making the phone call, waiting for the delivery to come, it's actually way more time consuming and more expensive than just throwing something together in your kitchen. You don't have to make it complicated.
Plus, you don't know what's in there.
And you don't
when
know
you
what's in
order
there.
food from other people, you're at the mercy of what they decide to put in there.
And it's some crazy oils like canola oil and oils that are just so bad for your body. And
Yeah.
you don't
And
even
sugars
realize why
and
you don't
salt.
feel well afterward. It's all of these.
And plus the, oh my gosh, what's the stuff MSGs and all of that stuff they're putting in everything. Oh my gosh, when you cook your own food, you're in control of what you're eating.
Yeah.
I love the metabolic balance idea. I love that you take each client as an individual and their program's tailored specifically to them.
Because everybody's biochemistry is different.
Yep.
So, some people are on medication for thyroid or high blood pressure, or maybe they're just having sleeplessness or depression, and we take all of this into account, and certain foods don't work well with certain medications. So all of that matters. So we'll take that, weight goals, measurements, and tailor that plan specifically to that person. So
I think
it's really hard to fail.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how long do they need to work with you?
So I offer 10 coaching sessions. We do hour-long sessions, whether we do a Zoom call. I've got clients in Winnipeg and Colorado, or they come to my home office. And then we do unlimited texts and calls. If they're in the supermarket, they have a question, or if they need something, we just get on the phone. Generally speaking, you might lose all the weight you want in as little as 2 weeks, or depending on how much weight you want to lose, it may take a year. So I'm generally with 10 sessions, it's about a year that we would work together, just having that accountability coach and knowing we're going to talk and I'm going to ask you, how's it going? What did it say on the scale today?
And that's
it keeps you in
vital. That's
line.
vital in a person's success, is having that coach to help you through that, especially beyond 3 months. I mean, you have to create a whole new lifestyle. So Eden, thank you so much for coming on the
Thanks
show.
for having me.
Our time goes way too quick.
It
I
sure
could
does.
talk with Eden all day. So I really appreciate you coming on the show. Give them your website one more time.
It is beachfittc.com.
That's
And
beachfittc.com.
you can schedule a call right there, and we can have a quick chat whenever works for you and talk about your needs.
I love it. I love it. Make sure that you check out Eden's website, beachfittc.com, and please share her show. I think it's amazing what she's doing here with Metabolic Balance and treating each person as an individual, which is how we should all be treated when it comes to our programs. So we will look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Health Revolution with V.